I'd like to first ask about the increase on either taxes or fees that have been tacked onto airline travel. You've seen my legislation previously that relates specifically to the TSA fee hikes, but just overall want to express a concern. Obviously, we are very familiar with the tourism-based economy that relies heavily on air traffic, as there are other cities and states in the country that similarly rely on this travel, and wanting to make sure that we're taking great care as we look at these potential tax and fee hikes and how they're affecting our economy as a whole. Specifically with the transportation security fee, with a 40-cent increase in the president's budget for FY 2015, generating an estimated $195 million. I'm curious because the budget for TSA is decreased by $59 million, and the TSO funding is reduced by $100 million. So I'm wondering, with the increase in this fee, what part of it is going towards increasing efficiency, waiting times, et cetera, at our TS checkpoints?
Well, part of our requested funding is for TSA PreCheck, which adds to efficiencies, leads to reductions in wait times getting on airplanes. TSA PreCheck is, in my view, an enhancement of security. It is also something that it promotes a better and more efficient use of taxpayer dollars. The fee increase that you mentioned is a 40-cent fee increase. The fee was increased last year by double after it not having been increased for a number of years. In my view, the fee increase is something that reflects a view that those that use aviation should share some of the costs, and those of us who use it more often should share more of the costs. Now, I understand how that could have an adverse impact on people who live on an island and therefore depend more on aviation to get certain basic places where others of us could take the train or drive.
Yep.
So I'm sensitive to that and want to think about that.
Well, I look forward to working with you on either finding an avenue where we can put either a cap or an exemption in place for these fees that disproportionately affect places like Hawaii and Alaska. My second question is with regards to pre-clearance. Last time you were here, there was extensive discussion on the Abu Dhabi pre-clearance. I'm curious if there are any plans to expand this program, and if so, if you could touch on that a little bit, what that is.
I believe we should expand the pre-clearance program. I think that pre-clearance is a Homeland Security imperative. I think the more opportunities with host governments we have to expand beyond our borders, our Homeland Security, we should do that. So I believe pre-clearance is very important. It's a priority of mine, and I hope to see it expanded beyond Abu Dhabi.
What are the priority criteria as different countries expressed interest in this?
Well, we look at airports that are last points of departure into the United States, and the security measures that they have in place tend to vary. So I'd want to focus on airports where the security is could use some supplementation, but it also depends on the arrangements we're able to make with host governments. We depend on having good relationships with host governments, and I'm pleased that we were able to work out an arrangement along these lines with the government in Abu Dhabi.
Thank you. This is an area that we'll follow up with you and your team on, especially with regards to some of the gateways that we have in the Asia-Pacific region, where we already have a tremendous amount of travel and economic trade and opportunity. Thank you very much. I yield back.